everyone, Melody here from Melody Stitches. Long time no see. I have not made a video since the beginning of June and did not even realize that that much time had passed until I sat down to make this one and went looking back at when the last time was that I made a video, and whoa man, it's been a while. It's been a minute. Been very busy. Just a very brief, what's been going on. Nothing exciting. I mean, it's not like I've been on some big adventure or something, like cruising around the world or searching for lost treasure, like no Indiana Jones moment. Just life. For the majority of the summer, I was still working 2 jobs, one during the week and one on the weekends, so that was a 7-day-a-week thing. The free time that I did have, no offense to y'all, I love you bunches, but I stitched. I obviously I took care of my home, my family, my pets, errands, other life obligations, and then if I was left with any free time, I was stitching. It was hard to come by, so yeah, I cherished it while I could. So as much as I missed you guys, I was stitching. I was doing some planning for some upcoming events and things, but for the most part, just busy, just life. Summers are crazy, and as I said in my last video, I think the day that I filmed that was the day that my daughter left for an international mission trip. My daughter is but 16 years old, so that was a little bit scary for me. She's flown by herself several times because she does have family in another state that she would fly unaccompanied minor to see, so she was not scared at all, but she's never left this country. So I didn't give a lot of details at the time, but I will update you all now and let you know that she was in Belize. Beautiful country, beautiful country. She went with a mission team from our church. They worked very hard, held fundraisers on the regular for about close to a year. She saved all of the money for the trip on her own. It was very expensive, quite an undertaking, but she thoroughly enjoyed herself. It was an eye-opening experience for her, and in the 9 or 10 days that she was gone, she returned to us a completely different child, a completely different individual. She just has so much more compassion and love in her heart, and that's my cat's tail, and just so much more consideration for her life and that of others, and what she can do to be a help and not a burden on society in general. Not that she is, but just, you know, some things that became very important to her while she was gone. So the whole group made it there safely, made it home safely, very much enjoyed their time there, and we were so very honored to have even been a background part of that. So so that was a big portion of our summer, was just enjoying her being home, enjoying that the planning phase of the trip was over, because it was quite an undertaking for months and months and months and months. Organizing fundraisers and scheduling meetings and, you know, baking things for this and supplying things for that, and yeah, it was worth it but exhausting. So it was great to have her home. She started a job, so she's been, you know, off doing teenage things. She's bought herself a car, you know, all those things that 16-year-olds do. So we just have been enjoying the summer with each other as a family as much as we can. So now that summer's wound down, school's back in, I have ditched job number 2. Thank you. And am now just down to one Monday through Friday job again. So I have some free time on the weekends, and you'll see the evidence of that here in a moment. Because the first thing I'm going to show you is what I've been working on this summer. I have been on a finishing frenzy. Don't get excited, not like Vonna the Twisted Stitcher finishing. No, God love her. She's like my new idol. For real though, like, whoa girl, hey. Knocking it out of the park with the finishing stuff. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I'm not that creative. That's why I cross stitch. It has a pattern. It tells me what to do. It says get this fabric and these colors and put these stitches in these holes, and then voila, look what you've done. Beyond that, I'm just like, I could fold it up, I could put it in a frame, I can tack it on the wall. I have no creative juice when it comes to what to do after. That's why I have a stitch it and stash it drawer, and that's where my finishes go. That's okay with me. I'm alright with that. So I haven't been doing that kind of finishing, but I have been finishing the stitching on my projects. So I have them here on my lap. I have had 5 finishes since about the middle of August. Some of these I had showed you in previous videos. Some of them I had not. They are still in the plastic because I knew at some point I would end up with a cat on my lap. So to avoid the excess cat hair that might not already be on these, I have left them in the plastic, so you will hear some scrunching around. This was, I'm not even sure what order I finished these in, y'all. I have several projects that are like half done. That seems to be my thing, is like, hey, let's just stitch half of this, and then, oh look, well, that looks exciting. Let's just start stitching that, and then stitch half of it, and oh look, that looks exciting. Hey, squirrel. Yeah, I'm kind of like a halfway point. You'll see that that's a recurring theme in my stitching. So most of these were half or a little over half done, and it's like I just ran out of steam and thought, need something different. So I went back and I put them back on my stand, and I told myself, let's just get these cotton picking things done, alright? And I did. So I don't know what order I finished them in, but here's the order I'm going to show you in. The first one, I'll show you the thing here. This is Little House Needleworks. This is the inn at Fox River Mill. And that's one that, if you follow me on Instagram, I am at Melody Stitches on Instagram. If you follow me on there, you've seen numerous updates of this one. I haven't been quite as active on my Instagram as much. I think also having to do with just the busyness of the summer, things going on. When I was stitching, I wasn't thinking about where to post it or who to show it to or anything else. But that one, I did get quite a few updates on Instagram before I sort of abandoned that avenue for a while. But here is my finish. And this one will be framed. I actually already have a frame for it. I just need to have my hubby do some modification to it. And I need to get a new piece of foam board because I don't know where mine went. Yeah, I don't know where it went. Things in this house just, I don't know. I don't think we have a ghost, but if we do, he's very eclectic. Like, he'll take the oddest things, like one thing from the mixer, you know, like one beater from the mixer, and like one measuring cup out of the set, my foam board for framing these. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's someone living in my attic that's just a weird collector. I don't have any idea. Anyway, I have to get some foam board. And keep it from the ghost/weird attic collector because I don't know where these things go, y'all. Like, I had some. Now it's gone. I don't have anything framed on my wall, but it's gone. So there's this. I would show you the frame for it, but it is over on my coffee table awaiting my husband's modifications. And, well, I can't get up right now because cat. She's snoozing. I'm not going to disturb her. So there's that finish. And that one I stitched on, this is the one that says it's 32 count white Belfast linen. I don't think it is. It stitches up like 28 count. I think it's 28 count. But yeah, I don't know. Not that I mind. I just don't think that's the right size. It's just on plain white. The next one I finished, this was Little House Needleworks Autumn Band Sampler. There is one of these for every month. For every season. I don't know that I will do all of the seasons. I'm not a huge fan of spring stitching. It's usually just colors that don't shout at me. I'm more of an autumnal person. And I don't know that I would ever hang the other seasons. But this one I really, really like. I love anything autumn. This one I stitched on just a random piece of 28 count linen that I picked up. I think I had mentioned in a previous video the basket of random fabric remnants pieces, various sizes and counts that were at the quilt shop here locally to us that we frequent. This was one of those pieces. It's just kind of an off-white eggshell colored 28 count linen. But here's this finish. I will pan up so you can see it, and then I'll try to scoot back so that you can see the whole thing. I don't know if I can get it. Yeah. So there's that. Of course it needs to be ironed because, yeah, I take things out of the hoop or off the Q-snaps, and sometimes I snap a picture and then I fold them up and I put them right back here in this little package that the pattern came in, and then they go into the stitch it and stash it drawer. So there's no shame in my game. There's really not. I don't iron anything until I'm ready to do something with it. So this may not be ironed until like 2025, who knows. The next one that I finished was Country Cottage Needleworks. This was Afternoon in New York. Again, one of the Afternoon in the City series. I don't know if the series has an official name, but I know there is London and Paris, and I believe there's maybe Rome, and then New York. This is the only one that I have because, well, I think it's well established my love of New York. So this one will go on my wall, probably in my hallway, or right over my stitchy spot, right next to my metal statuette of the Chrysler Building that sits on top of my stitchy cabinet. This I stitched on 28 count Sandcastle Jobelin from Picture This Plus. And here it is finished. Can you see all that? Yeah. This one was a ton of fun to stitch. Again, definitely will frame it. I think I have a kind of a brownish longer frame that I will put this in. And yeah, it will definitely be displayed. So that one is on the top of the Stitch It and Stash It drawer, because I actually plan to do something with it. And maybe I'll even remember to show you when I've done that. So that was finish number 3, and I think the Inn at Fox River Mill, the first one that I showed you, I think I finished that one like mid-August. And then the last one that I'm going to show you, I just finished day before yesterday. So this has been like in about the last 6.5 or 7 weeks that I finished these. But again, don't get excited thinking I'm some kind of crazy super stitcher, like I'm hiding a cape or something. No, these were mostly like half to 3/4 done, and it just was a matter of really sitting down and putting some focus into it. And especially now that I'm not working on the weekends, it's a little bit less mentally taxing to think about, you know, working all day at my main job and then coming home and getting my housework and, you know, everything else, errands run and all that done in the evenings on the weekdays, because I know that the more I get done during the week, the less I have to worry about on the weekend, other than like laundry and dishes and stuff. So my weekends are pretty well empty, especially like this weekend. I actually have a chance to film today. This is Saturday. What is today? The 24th? It's Saturday the 20-something of September. It's close enough. Anyway, my husband's at work, my daughter's at work, my youngest son is not here today, so I actually have the house to myself. I can't film when there's people here. It's too small, too crowded, too noisy, chaos. So on my weekends that I now don't have to spend at a second job, I am binge watching Netflix and or Hulu and stitching. So I'm able to make quite a bit of progress, especially on the weekends that my husband is at work, because we're not out, you know, running around at garage sales or thrift stores or, you know, things like that we enjoy doing together. So yeah, number 4 that I finished that was mostly done when I started. This is Country Cottage Needleworks. This is Home Sweet Home. This is one that my husband bought for me a while back and got me the threads and everything for it as well. So that is the chart, and this one I stitched on a piece of just random white 28 count even weave. I don't even know the manufacturer. I'm showing you the back. I don't even know the manufacturer. I think it's just white even weave. So there is Home Sweet Home. And I think if I do anything with this one other than put it in a frame, I think that this is one that I will probably try making a flat fold out of. I know I mentioned Vonna, the Twisted Stitcher. She is phenomenal when it comes to finishing things. And I really enjoy watching her videos, her tips, her tutorials, and I believe not only on her Flosstube channel does she have a video about finishing in flat folds, but I think that she also may have a post in regards to that on her Twisted Stitcher blog. So I'm going to look up one or both of those and see if maybe I can, you know, manage this whole flat fold thing, and that's what I would like to do with this one, and put it on the, we have an antique desk that's in our, sort of right as you come in our front door. I'd like to display it on there, so that might be what I do with that. I have lofty goals. The best of intentions. Usually, nothing happens, but I feel like if I have an intention, well, then I've succeeded already. At least I have a plan. And then the last one that I finished just day before yesterday, this is La Di Da. This is just called Flower Basket. And this is one that I bought on Stash Unload a couple of years ago. It came with the pattern and I don't think it came with the linen. I think it came with the pattern and all of the overdyed flosses. And I think I got it for like $10, and that included shipping. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hand dyeds and 1 DMC in this. So yeah, it was like $10, and that was a crazy deal, and I had plenty of the hand dyeds left. So yeah, I was thrilled to have gotten a hold of this one. I have no idea what this fabric is. I don't know. It's probably listed in my X-Stitch app on my phone, but I'm talking to you on my phone, so I can't look it up right now. But it's pretty. I like it. That is my finished flower basket. And of course I changed right here and modified to put my initials in there. And then I changed over here, I changed the year to 2016. In the original pattern, of course, this was designed by Lori Markovic, or Markovich, I'm not sure how you say her last name. So you see right there, there's the LM there, which are her initials, and then this says 2000. So I just modified it to put my initials in the same space and changed it to the current year. So this one will languish away in the drawer. Probably until moths eat it, or I die and my children try to decide what to do with my stuff. It'll be one of those things that they look at and go, what is this? Why does she have this? And then who knows what'll end up with it. So, toss those on the floor. Okay, so next we will talk about the main point of, here we're 19 minutes in, and this was going to be really, really quick. I will talk about the main reason that I wanted to film this video today, and that is for the Year of Whips challenge. The Soulful Stitching Sisters group on Facebook, which was begun by Melanie Watkins, a wonderful fellow stitcher. I joined that group just very, very shortly after she started it, and she schedules some really fun Sal's stitch-alongs for like the weekends or sometimes a week at a time. Right now she's getting ready to do an ongoing one, which is the Once Upon a Time stitch-along. for the new season of Once Upon a Time that's coming out on the network here soon. But the big one for the group is, and I'm sure a lot of you probably, if you watch Flosstube at all, have already seen or heard something about it. It is the Year of Whips challenge, in which we begin on October 1st of this year, and we work through until the end of December next year, and we really put focus on trying to complete as many whips as we can. There is also a stitching blitz that is going on that same Facebook group that is 4 new starts a month for next year. It's one every week. And I believe it's one a week every month. I could be wrong. Go to the group, join, look it up. But either way, there's a bit of a starting blitz going on that encourages new starts as well, which could then be plugged into the Year of Whips, because, well, once they're started, they become whips. But the main point of the challenge was to pull out things that you had whiling away somewhere for quite a while, or things that you had started, maybe a couple of years ago that you got really excited about and stitched for a while and then put it down because the next big thing came out. I don't have a whole lot of those, only because I really don't have FOMO. If you don't know what FOMO is, it's fear of missing out. I don't have FOMO at all. I'm not a bandwagoner. I don't jump on, the next greatest thing that everybody's doing. I could think of probably 10 things off the top of my head right now that I see, people just one after the other, jumping into, and that's just not me. It's fine. Stitch what you want, stitch what you like. I just don't tend to follow trends, I guess. The whole everybody else is doing it. I stick to what I like. I stick to what I enjoy. So a lot of my whips are not super old, but I really don't have a lot of whips that are super old, because I'm usually pretty good about keeping myself at a manageable number and, for the most part, finishing the things that I've started. I think I only have about 4 what would be classified as UFOs, and I may actually pull those out and plug those into this challenge, but I think one of them I've lost the chart to, and it was part of a kit, so I would have to see if I could even get the chart again. And another one was a kit that came with the threads, and I have no idea where I've put the thread bundle. So I haven't pulled those out just yet, but I may add those in. But for the most part, my whips are really no more than, maybe a year or 2 old, and I work on them pretty regularly because I tend to work on a lot of larger designs. So I will show you the ones that I have here next to me in my basket of whips. There's one of them right there that has everything in it that I do work on and that I plan to work on. Oh, you're looking at the back of my project. Stinkers. So yeah, I will just show you these, and whatever I also have an album on the Soulful Stitching Sisters Facebook group that is labeled as my Year of Whips. Melanie asked that each of us make either a video or an album to showcase what it is that we're going to be working on, so that we can sort of be held accountable. It is a challenge. It's not a race. It's not a competition. It's not, whoever gets done first or whoever finishes the most or whatever. Obviously that would never work, because I think I have maybe 13, 15, something like that. And then I know there's others out there, like Jessie Marie just did her video the other day, and she's going to be doing 34. I think there's some other stitchers out there I've seen in their albums on Facebook that have uploaded 20-some, 30-some photos, so obviously it can't be a whoever gets the most done or whoever finishes them all first, or, whoever makes the most progress. We are only competing with ourselves. So it's a group challenge that Melanie would like us to be held accountable for participating in, but also it's an individual challenge as a group, if that makes any sense at all. And we also have those of us that have indicated that we're participating and, you know, taken the proper steps to become included in the challenge. We also have been assigned a postcard pal and have been encouraged to exchange a postcard, greeting card, note of encouragement, something like that, with that person once a month at a minimum throughout the challenge. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. So these are the whips that I am intending to work on in no particular order. I don't do rotations. I don't do anything like that. I just work on whatever calls to me. And some of these you might have seen in previous videos, and you'll be seeing them again, probably looking quite a bit different than they were the last time you saw them, just because, like I said, these are active projects that I work on, you know, whenever the mood strikes me. So the first one that I'm going to show you, this is a Nora Corbett pattern. This is Coral Charms. And I'm not going to talk too much about each one of these because I want to get through them and I don't want to have a super duper long video here. So that's Coral Charms. This is where, oh, I gotta move it back here. This is where I'm at with her. I am basically down to these last tendrils down here and then her mermaid tail. I just covered up my own face, so I have absolutely no idea if you can even see what I'm showing you, but you get the point. So that's that one. I'm just gonna put these here in my lap, so hopefully things don't get out of hand. The cat has abandoned my lap, so I have some space left. Next one I'll show you, this is Designs by Lisa. This is Life's Good, Live the Journey. I know that this is one that I have made pretty significant progress on since the last time I showed you. I think the last time you saw it, it was just a few little flower petals up in the corner. This is just a random cut of 28 count even weave out of that quilt shop basket. And that's where I'm at on that one. And sorry, this basket's too big to put on my lap, so it's just hanging out over here. This one I showed in a previous video. I'll just pop it up here so you can see. This is Little House Needleworks, Home of a Needleworker. I'm actually going to restart this one, so the way that you see it now is not how it's going to be. This is how I had started it, but I was doing it 1/1 on this piece of fabric because it was just a tiny bit too small for, you know, stitching it 2/2. And I literally, if any of you are fans of Rachel Zoe, the celebrity designer or celebrity stylist, I literally hate it. Hate this on this fabric. Love this design. Absolutely gonna stitch it. Not like this. No. Literally hate it. So, restarting this one. But it's currently still a whip because it's currently on fabric still. Same with this one. This is Little House Needleworks, Born in a Manger. I also started this one 1/1 on, well, I'll just show you back here on this piece of like dusty blue-gray fabric with all the recommended threads. Not happening. Not 1/1. Not doing it. No way. No how. Restarting this one too. But technically, they are whips. So I'm showing them to you. This is the only Mill Hill kit that I have currently in progress. This one is, whoa, it's louder than I thought it would be. This is part of the winter holiday collection. It's called Ice Skates. And I have one skate finished, and then I was working towards finagling. The other skate actually goes on here at kind of a sideways angle over here. And I was working on trying to finagle out the counting and where it goes and where it starts, so I make sure I have plenty of room to cut around them. And I kind of lost interest, and it just has been sitting in this bag ever since. Also, interesting tidbit about me and my stitching habits, I cannot stitch winter things unless it's winter, and I cannot stitch Christmas things except for about 2 weeks leading up to Christmas, and then once Christmas is over, no more Christmas things. That's why I don't do seasonals. Same with Halloween, same with Easter. Can't do it. Can't do it. Just not a thing for me. Let's see. This is Alessandra Adelaide. This is one that my husband bought me for Valentine's Day a couple of years ago. I have no idea how to say this because I'm not French, but it's something like Coir Felice, maybe? Voila? S'il vous plaît? I don't know. This something French. I am stitching this on a piece of white 18 count Aida. That is where I'm at with it at the moment. And I'm stitching this using a floss from Moe's Sale called Autumn Meadow, and it looks just as you see there, just shades of pink and gray. Because the red heart was just a wee bit too traditional for me, and I did not want it. So, there's that one. Whoops. Ooh, that could have been ugly. Just about stabbed my scissors through it. Okay, this one, another Little House Needleworks. This is Coffee Menu. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep this on the fabric that it's on or if I'm going to go ahead and start it over. I picked another piece of the random quilt shop basket fabric. This is just a kind of a off-white eggshell colored 28 count even weave. That's what I have done of it so far. But I'll tell you, I may restart it simply because I got to looking at this the other day whenever I was pulling out my whips to do my album on the Facebook group. And this, as I got to looking at it, I love this gingham back here that is behind this frame. And I just kept looking at this pattern and this gingham, and I kind of want to stitch this on a piece of gingham fabric. So I may do that. Stay tuned. I reserve the right to change my mind at any point in time for any reason that I declare valid. And that's just how I roll. Okay, so there's that. And now you guys are seeing here my old method of storing my projects back before, you know, all the glory of folders and memory keepers and all this stuff. It just literally, these are Ziploc, gallon-size Ziploc bags from the Dollar Tree. And that's how I kept my projects, or I just keep everything in the little bag. If it comes in an envelope, I just keep everything in the envelope it comes in. Like I have scissors, I have all of my threads in here, I have the patterns in there, my project is folded up in here. This is how I used to do it. Not so much anymore. Because, thanks to all you enablers, all you do what I do what I do. It's all your fault. Again, not really much of a bandwagoner, but I know a good idea when I see one. And y'all have some good ideas. Like, y'all are smart. You're real smart. And like real inventive and stuff. So now, my projects are held either in these, I get these at Walmart. They are called Casemate document holders. And they just zip here across the top. Opens up there. Zips closed. Right back open. Holds a full size, you know, sheet of this is about the size of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Holds it perfect. Slides right in, slides right out. That's one method that I use now. And this is my next whip that I'm going to show you that's in there. This is Serendipity Designs, the Fantasy Sampler. That's what it will look like finished. And this is where I am at on it. And that one should most definitely be a finish for this coming year because it only has 5 or 6 colors, and man does it stitch up fast. I just don't focus enough time on it, I don't guess. Here's another one of those document holders. See, they come in all kinds of colors, and they're like 96 cents at Walmart in the office supplies aisle. They're fantastic. So next whip, what are we at? 35 minutes, goodness. Next whip is Rosewood Manor. This is Quaker Diamonds. And this one is being stitched using the DMC, I don't want to say, conversion, because I didn't really convert anything. I just compared this is supposed to be stitched with Valdani threads, like what you see down there in the corner. Not all about spending $60 for 8 or 9 balls of thread floss that I probably would never use again on anything else. Plus I've heard that they knot really easily and they fray pretty easily. So I'm very happy with my decision to switch all of this to DMC. I just found equivalent colors in my stash and off I went. So there's where I'm at with Quaker Diamonds so far. And this is being stitched on a piece of 32 count, I believe it's eggshell, oyster, 32 count oyster. This is from MCG Textiles. I get this at Joann's. I know there's some of you out there that just really do not like that fabric at all. I've never had any issue with it. I have multiple pieces of it, different counts, different colors, both linen and even weave. I have never had a single problem with it. Not with the even weave being uneven, not with the linen, you know, having a lot of slubs. I love it. And when it's like between $6 and $9 at my local Joann's for a pretty good size, I think it's like 20 by 27 size piece, and I can get it with a 60% off or even a 40% off coupon, every time they text me with, you know, 60% off one item, y'all, I am in the van and on the way to Joann's, because 60% off of $7, $8, $9 for a great big, you know, piece of fabric. Yeah, I mean, duh. So yeah, I really like it. I have no problem with it at all. I know everybody's experiences are different, but that has been my experience. So, so at the very least, don't be afraid to try it. It might work for you. Okay, and then next whips, I have to figure out which one is which, because they're all just in here, just hanging out, doing their thing. There's like 5 things in here. Oh, this one is Country Cottage Needleworks, February. That is it's the February cottage. And that I have started right here. I'm eventually going to do all of these cottages. But I think right now I have 2 of them started. Yes, I have 2 of them started. I have January and February. So that was February, this is January. Most of you have already seen these before. It's not anything spectacularly new and different. And then this is where I'm at with January. And then I also have March, April, May, and June. So those will probably be incorporated in this coming year with the monthly starts. I'm going to show you a couple of starts that I was traveling with these 2 back and forth to work, and I couldn't find the tote that I wanted, so I stuck them in a grocery store bag, and that's where they sit. Eventually I will move those into folders. So I've decided a few of the things that I want to start this coming, hold on, I'm grabbing my coffee because it's over here and I can't reach it, sorry. A few of the things that I want to start next year, I definitely want to do that whole series of cottages. So I have January and February started. I own March, April, May, June. So I will, I will work on those over the coming, you know, each month as they come up. That will be one of my blitz starts for the Soulful Stitching Sisters Stitch Along. And then I also have a few other, I have a lot of freebie patterns that I've been holding on to for a while that I actually haven't done anything with, that I've been wanting to start or find a way to incorporate into my stitching plans. So I'm going to work on doing a lot of that this coming year, adding in a lot of the freebie charts that I've collected. There's some monthly charts. There's the Connie G Designs Stitch Along, which is the little diamond motif patterns. I think she released 24 or 25 diamonds, and then also the chart with the outline of how you could lay them out in there. I want to do the, I think it was Plum Street Samplers that did the 12 Days of Christmas that several people are stitching. I have collected all the parts of it. I just never started it, but I want to convert that. I'm not going to do it in the, you know, reds and greens or maroons and greens. I can't do the traditional colorings of things like that. So I probably will convert that into like turquoise, white, and silver of some variety. And then the Snowflower Diaries. She has phenomenal designs. She has a blog with a lot of freebie charts on it, but she also has, I believe, an Etsy shop where you can purchase a lot of her other designs, and they're darling. And I'll show you a few of them here just because I have them ready to stitch. I've got them in one of my folders. These are the other folders that I use for storing my projects now. These I get, let me find one where you can't see the chart that's in it. These I get at the Dollar Tree. So if you are near a Dollar Tree, these come two to a package, and they are just literally like, you know, regular size folders, and then they have a snap closure here in the front, and you just slide your project down in here and snap it. And my Dollar Tree has two different sets. One is a package that has this one and this one. There's a chart in there, so I can't show it to you full on. And then the other package, this is what they look like. It just says snap closure. Yeah, snap closure envelopes. And there's the blue ones, that one and that one. Two of these for $1 at the Dollar Tree. They're sturdy. They're made well. I've never had one rip or come apart or split. Of course, I don't, you know, stuff a whole lot into them. The snaps hold. I have been able to keep them from getting wet. I had one in my stitching bag that I was carrying to work, and as I was closing my van door, I hit my coffee cup against the side of the van door, and coffee sloshed everywhere. It got on my bag, it got in my bag, and it got all over that envelope, folder, whatever you want to call it. Nothing got on my stitching. So I just love these. If you have a Dollar Tree nearby, highly recommend it. Every time I'm in Dollar Tree, I pick up a couple packages of them. I probably have 20 of them sitting around here just waiting for projects, which is dangerous, but you know, what are you going to do? So some of the things that I know for sure that I'm going to be starting this coming year, for one of the Blitz starts, the Soulful Stitching Sisters group has a Mill Hill Beads kit stitch along. So I will be, for that one, starting this one. It is the Victorian House Buttons and Beads. It says it's part of their Christmas Village series. This is more winter to me than Christmas, so I don't really have any issue with, you know, only being able to stitch on it for a short time. I can stitch on it as long as it's cold out. And then after that, I'll lose interest. So that's one start. Another start is going to be Little House Needleworks. This is Robin Hood. And those of you that watch Katie the Stash Queen, I believe that this is one that she has in her whips as well. Just her whips in general. I believe that this is one that she's working on. And I am going to be stitching this one on a piece of Lakeside Linens fabric. You can see it back there. I can't tell you what it's called, but I have coffee in one hand and I can't open this with the other, so you'll see it when I start it. I have procured all of the beads and Krennic for my next Nora Corbett start. I always have at least one Mirabilia and one Nora Corbett going. I have 2 other Mirabilias that are in my Year of Whips challenge. I don't have them over here to show you because they are not at hand at the moment. But one is Lady Alexandra, the other one is the Queen Mermaid, as well as my Coral Charms that you just saw here. And then one of my starts next year will be this. This is Sea Flora. And I probably will just stitch that on a piece of neutral linen, and then the beads that go with it. There's 2 purples there. And a clear and an orange here. I'm just holding this coffee. Has anybody noticed I've yet to take an actual drink of this coffee? I'm just holding it. I'm holding it and crippling myself with now being one-handed to show you things, because this is how I roll. I have coffee that I want to drink, not doing it. Have I put it down? No. Am I still trying to finagle things with one hand? Yeah. Welcome to my world. Anyway, more beads. Reddish orange, clear, and then this orange Krennic. So that will be a start. I probably won't do her on a hand-dyed. Most of the mermaids that I've done of Nora's, I've also done the Mermaid Azure, which is like the blue-green one. Most of them I've just done on neutral fabric because the colors are so vibrant, so vibrant. I'm all about hand-dyes. I've stitched several Mirabilias on hand-dyes. I stitched Persephone on like a hot pink hand-dyed fabric. Love it. But for some reason these mermaids are so like bold in their own right with their colors that I think a neutral fabric just kind of brings that to light. Sort of how if you wear a bright eyeshadow you want a neutral lipstick and vice versa. Yeah, that's kind of my philosophy on that. I'm actually going to get a drink of this now. It's pretty cold. Yeah, so that's that. And then I'm going to find the freebies that I want to incorporate into next year's starts. Probably, I should be able to get some videos out a bit more frequently. I'm going to try and work on an every 2 weeks schedule simply because my husband is off every other weekend. So the weekends that he's home, my youngest son is also here. He's with us on an every other weekend visitation. He's technically my husband's youngest son, but he's been mine since he was 2 as well, so he's my son. But he does live with his mother, so he is with us every other weekend and most of the summer. So on the weekends that he's here, my husband is off work. So I have a 10-year-old, I have a husband, I have a 16-year-old daughter, and I have a zoo full of animals. So filming, no, not happening. So I'm going to try and get on an every 2 week schedule and film on the weekends that he works. My son won't be here. My daughter usually works on Saturdays, so I kind of have some quiet in the house to myself. And at one point, soon, I'm going to pull out my plans for what I want to start next year, and I will do a video of my planned starts. I'm also going to try and keep updated on my works in progress. I've bought myself a planner that is a weekly planner so that I can make notes for myself of what it is that I intend to start for that week, as well as I can indicate what I have worked on so that whenever I do film a video, I'm not sitting here racking my brain trying to figure out what the heck it was I even worked on the last 2 weeks, so that I'm not showing you stuff that has no progress and then forgetting to show you the things that I've nearly finished, because that's also how I roll. So, so that's that. I actually have a new start today that I just put on my Q snaps and found my starting point and got all ready to go right before I sat down to film this video. So I'm going to work on that for a bit. And any of you that are interested, it is called Harvest Time. It's by Ori TM. Look it up, it's pretty. So yeah, I'm going to work on that and probably binge watch some more of the Goldbergs. If you're not watching the Goldbergs and you were alive in or have any interest whatsoever in the 80s era, oh my gosh, love that show. Absolutely love it. Cracks me up. It is so spot on. It seriously, if the three kids were all girls, it might as well have been my family. But love that. So I'm going to binge watch the Goldbergs, and then I'm going to finish watching Quantico so that I can watch the new episode that comes out tomorrow and be all caught up. And I'm going to work on my new start and probably warm this coffee up again because it's a little cool. Not in a good iced coffee way, but more in like a, well, that's been sitting for a minute kind of way. So I'm gonna re-stash all of this stash that I pulled out to show you and get busy, and I hope every one of you is having a phenomenal weekend. I hope that you're getting all kinds of stitchy time and enjoying all the things that you enjoy. Thank you so much for continuing to subscribe to my videos, even though I went completely MIA there at the beginning of June. I appreciate all of your comments, your kind words. Obviously, you know, the comments that have been left, I was working pretty diligently on responding to, and then kind of fell off with that, but most of my social media fell off over the summer. I wish I could tell you that I was sorry about that, but I'm really not, and I don't mean that in a personal way. I mean that in a I was really enjoying being in the moment with my family way, and I just was really trying hard not to let my social media obligations cloud that. So I didn't want to be weighed down with, I need to check this, I need to look at that, I need to post on here, I need to share this picture, or, you know, whatever. I just kind of took a step away from it and spent time with my husband, with my kids, really enjoyed the things that we were doing, the places that we were going, and lived in the moment. So I will try to go back and respond to some of those relevant comments as we go along. Somebody did ask me, I caught the other day, the giant thrift store haul that I had on my last video, somebody did ask me if I had started any of those things yet. No, I have not. I have every intention to. They probably will be incorporated very much so into my plans for next year, but for the most part, I've kitted up the ones that I know that I want to work on first, and the rest of them are stashed away over in my stitching spot, waiting to be planned for something. So you'll see those coming out, and I'll try to be sure and mention which ones came from the thrift store as I work on them. But yeah, that's about it for now. Yeah, nothing really exciting, just stitching and TV and family time and work. That's pretty much the size of it. So I will see you guys back in a couple of weeks. I will try and have some of my next year's plans figured out by then, and share with you what I intend to start. I will show you any progress that I've made on the things that I am going to be working on between now and then. I think I'm going to adopt Jessie Marie's attitude of, in her video, she said that all of the whips that she shared, the 34 whips that she shared that she's going to be working on for the Year of Whips Challenge, she is not going to work on any of them before October 1st. And I think I'm going to do the same thing. I think the things that I just showed you here, my 2 Mirabilias that I don't have accessible at the moment, and my 2 Heaven and Earth designs that I have going, that I will show you when I get them out to work on them, because they're so unwieldy to try to, yeah, just to show you for a few seconds. My goal for those is obviously not to finish them next year, but page finishes. So, Lost my train of thought. Hold on, I derailed. Wait a minute. Oh, yes, Jessie Marie said she was not going to work on any of those whips until the 1st, and I think I'm going to do the same thing, which is part of the reason that I started a new project. I think I'm going to work on that one until October 1st, or I may start another one of my little Mill Hill bead kits or something between now and then. Just something to keep me busy, but I don't think I'm going to do anything else on any of these whips that are in my challenge, my personal challenge, until the 1st. So when I come back with my next video in 2 weeks, it will be, I will have only been working on any of these for a week, so there may not be a lot of progress to show you, which is why I would like to take the opportunity to share my plans for next year. Anything else that you'd like to see? Any other videos that you'd like to see me do? Any questions that you have? Comments, curiosities, compliments, insults, you know, whatever. Just throw them at me. Just lob them right this way. I will either answer them, ridicule them if they're insults, look all flattered if they're compliments, or scratch my head questioningly if I don't understand. But either way, I'll do that all here so you can see it. So yeah, feel free to share whatever you'd like. Thank you again for subscribing, for commenting, for being loyal and faithful, and thank you to all of you that have popped in on my Instagram updates or my Facebook post and asked me when I would be making another video. Yeah, the answer was I don't know, which is probably why I hadn't answered you. So here it is, here I am, and hopefully I will be back every couple of weeks. Whether that's a benefit to you or not, I don't know, but that's my plan. So stitch on, enjoy yourselves, enjoy your families, and I will see you all in a couple weeks. Bye.